Leute, willkommen zur neuen Folge von Genshin Impact. Letzte Folge haben wir den Hangout von Thomas abgeschlossen und heute machen wir den Hangout von Beidou. Also würde ich mal sagen, hier, Legendenauftrag, Beidou, Sternstunde der Crux. So, starten, let's go. Ich bin mal gespannt, ob wir hier in Inazuma starten oder ob es in Liyue ist. Es ist in Liyue, okay. Hab ich schon fast gedacht, dass es ein LDW-Auftrag war. Oh nein, ich muss zum Boot. Nein! So, da wären wir am Alkoch. So. Das Schlimme ist wahrscheinlich, ich muss wahrscheinlich jedes Mal hier zurück, damit ich die Quest wieder von vorne anfangen kann. Yay! Hör. Willst mich doch verarschen. Okay, also anscheinend hier oben. Hätte ich doch einfach oben könnten bleiben. Oh. Das erklärt das. Also hier muss ich hin. Hallo.
Well, would you look who's here? Looks like it's going to be a day to remember. Guys, look who the sea washed up!
Ahoy there, traveler! So Captain really did invite you to join the homecoming celebration.
Hey, I heard that you took care of another crisis while you were in Inazuma. Are the rumors true?
That's what I heard too. Thanks to you, Inazuma's Vision Hunt decree was finally put to an end. Well done, traveler.
Captain's got quite the eye for people. She said she was sure that your trip to Inazuma would stir up some waves. And sure enough...
Look at you, being so modest. We all know what you did to protect Liyue Harbor.
I've heard that they tell stories about you in Mondstadt, too. The honorary knight. Pretty impressive.
I'd say someone of your caliber would be right at home in the cracks. Right, sailors?
That's right. Wow, I'm getting excited just thinking of being the Traveler's crewmate. Hey, what do you say we arm wrestle?
I was worried you'd be too busy to show up.
Oh, Captain on deck!
Captain, we were just trying to talk the Traveler into joining the crew.
Yeah, come on, Captain Beidou. Surely you've got a way to get the Traveler on board.
Well, she's on board right now for the celebration, isn't she?
Yeah, but just one celebration together is not enough. You know what we mean, Captain.
All right, I get it now. There is something special about you, Traveler. You earned everyone's respect, myself included. So it goes without saying that the Crux would be honored to have a crew member such as yourself.
No doubt about that.
But then again, a hero like yourself doesn't just set off on a journey without some bigger purpose in mind. So should a hero really drop what they're doing just to spend day after day drifting at sea with us? Well, if that were the case, then the Crux, known for always moving forward to the next horizon, would instead be holding someone back.
Right. I guess we didn't think that part through.
Remember, rather than seeking out strong members to join us, you should be focusing on making yourselves the strongest that you can be. If we are powerful, they will come to us. Isn't that why everyone here chose to come aboard in the first place?
Yes, a strong sailor is always looking for a sturdy ship.
I guess I almost forgot the first lesson you ever taught me. Thanks for the reminder, Captain.
Just be sure you all keep that in mind. Now, there's no more need to hound the Traveler, as you were. The Traveler and I have something to discuss. I'm glad you came. Welcome back aboard. Thanks. I'll take that. Some rumors have it that the leader of the Crux is so powerful that she could slay the mighty Leviathan Haishan without breaking a sweat. I can't go getting too caught up in my own reputation, though. That's certainly not how the Crux made it to where we are today. As the head of the fleet, my task is to keep us on the right course, no matter how turbulent the seas may become. But then again, the crew isn't usually this riled up. It's not that they're arrogant, they're just bubbling with ambition, that's all. Their excitement today comes from their great respect for you, both your strength and your character. So please, don't take it the wrong way. All good then. Great. Actually, speaking of Inazuma, I think your good luck must have rubbed off on me on the way over. I made an interesting find on the beach shortly after we parted ways. Let's talk about it over there, where it's a little quieter.
Okay, wohin genau? Da, okay. Hier einen ruhigen Ort, um Invader-Details zu besprechen. Okay.
So after we dropped you off in Rito, we found a shipwreck nearby. Probably belonged to Inazuman pirates. We searched the wreckage and found a map. At first, I thought it was a nautical chart. I was thinking we might discover a new sailing route if we were lucky. But after a closer look, I realized it wasn't a map of the sea at all. It was a Liyue treasure map, and no ordinary one at that. Nothing like that. I just mean that the map was a mess. So it was the most I could do to figure out that the treasure was probably in Liyue. As for its exact location, I have no idea. I'd say I've explored Liyue pretty extensively, but still, this one managed to beat me. So, I thought of you. Nobody can beat you when it comes to treasure hunting on land, right? Is that right? Well then, it looks like I'm in good hands. Here's the map, see what you can make of it.
Oh, bitte was?
So, where do you think it is? Chingsa Village. I don't see the resemblance at all. How'd you come to that conclusion? Oh, okay then. I'm definitely a rookie at this. But your word's good enough for me. Time for a trip to Chingsa. You're coming with me, of course. I'll need you to help me zero in on the specific location once we're there.
Okay, dann machen wir das mal, ey. Ich bin gespannt, was für einen Weg haben wir jetzt eingeschlagen, weil wir haben definitiv einen Weg eingeschlagen, das ist sicher. Okay, wir sind hier unten. Okay, Unterhaltung unter 4 Augen. Ja, mal hier oben wäre wahrscheinlich dann Dings, wenn wir halt das andere, die Kinyo klippen oder nein, das war's. Tingyan, Lingo, Tempel, irgendein anderes halt Gebiet genommen hätten. Ah, die Gulio-Ebene wahrscheinlich. Ja, schon mal an. Egal, jetzt geht's mal zu Sinche durch. So. Okay, Teleportation. Okay, das heißt, das wieder von einer Schatzreise, also nur werden diese ganze Quest an. Hello there.
Ah, Beto! Wow, and the traveler! My goodness, what's the occasion? Just here to visit us old folks once again? It hasn't been all that long since we last had a visit from the Crux. But I'm glad you picked today. You're just the people I need. These two young rascals, they've been arguing with each other non-stop about some petty nonsense or other. I'm too old to get through to them. They won't listen to me. Please, talk some sense into them.
Rest assured, Granny Zhuoshin, whatever the situation is, the Traveler and I will take care of it.
Oh, thank goodness. It's Captain Beto. You couldn't have come at a better time. You're the voice of reason I need in this situation.
Captain, please, help me get justice.
Whoa, hey. What exactly is going on here? Spit it out, tell me everything.
It makes me mad just talking about it. G here, I don't know if he's got a screw loose or what his problem is. But anyway, he took it upon himself to raise, well, practically a whole army of finches, okay? And now guess what? They fly onto my land and completely destroy at least half of my crops. I asked him to pay compensation, but he refused. Now how is that fair?
Captain, I'm innocent. They're not even my finches. I just thought they looked kinda cute, you know, so I fed them a couple of times. They're wild birds, though.
A couple times? Are you kidding me? That's rich. Really rich. There were 2 of them when you first started. 2 finches. Now you have a whole roof full of finch nests. I swear, every time I come by your place, I think I'm at a bird market. I'm telling you, you are not gonna get away with this anymore.
So, yeah, I mean, they laid a few eggs, made a few nests, but finches gonna finch, you know? These are wild birds. I mean, they'll do whatever they please.
So that's how it is. I think I got the picture. What's your take? Yeah, you have a point. Gee, let's say I'm interested in buying these finches off you. What would you say to that?
Are you serious, Captain? Oh, that would be great. Honestly, with all this trouble they've been causing me lately, they've become a bit of a burden. So if you're happy to take them off my hands, that would be perfect.
All right, deal. My only condition is, you have to use some of the money to compensate Wenjing for her losses.
Oh, come on. But I never raised them, did I?
Well, you tell me. You took my deal, that means you admitted to being the owner, doesn't it? Otherwise, what gives you the right to sell them to me?
Captain Beto's right. If you didn't raise them, what makes you think you can go taking her money for them, huh?
Well...
Don't worry. My offer includes plenty left over for you after deducting the compensation. This way, you get something back for looking after them.
Okay then. Okay. I'll pay the compensation.
I hope you two are very grateful indeed to Beto. I dare say no one else will be quite so accommodating toward the people of our village.
Granny Zhuoshin, as you know, many of the boys from your fine village do sterling work for the Crux. The fleet wouldn't be what it is today without them, so please think nothing of it. Gee, Wenjing, I guess you're free to go.
Captain Beto, you're here.
Pops Shing, it's been a long time. Have you been?
Don't get me started. I've been having some real trouble with that neighbor of mine, Jen. We keep having the same argument, and it just goes nowhere. I heard you were in the village, so I rushed over to seek your help.
What's the issue?
Oh, come with me. You'll see. Let's go find Jen and clear this whole thing up, face to face.
Sprich mit Rennen, okay. Ich habe irgendwie das Gefühl, obwohl diese Quest nur 5 Ausgänge hat, dass sie sich schon ein bisschen länger beziehen. Oh Gott, da bin ich mal gespannt, wie das hier ausgeht. So, Ren, hallo.
Captain Beto, you're here.
I heard that you and Pops Shing had a little misunderstanding. So, what's up? Tell me about it.
Jen planted a tree on his property a few years back. I had no issue with it at the time. It's just a tree. But a few years on, it's grown taller than the roof of my house. Every morning when I get up and open the window, I just want to feel the sun on my face. But I'm greeted instead by the looming shadow of my neighbor's tree. It really affects my mood. I asked Jen to cut it down so I could get some sunlight back on my property. But he said no. It's like he's done this on purpose just to drive me crazy.
Captain Beto, you gotta believe me. I didn't intend to block the sunlight, but there's nothing I can do about it now. It's not just any old tree, you see. That tree was planted there by my late father. Not long after he planted it, he passed away. And just before he passed, he left me with some parting words. He said our family's fortune was inauspicious and we needed something to suppress the bad luck. That's what he planted the tree for. How can I just chop it down? I'll be honest, I spent a few years studying in Liyue Harbor, so I don't actually share his superstitious beliefs. But still, that doesn't change the fact that this was my father's dying wish.
Okay, I think I'm all clear on the situation. What are you thinking? I was thinking along the same lines as you. Look, Pops, I'm not trying to make excuses for Zhen, but just try putting yourself in his shoes for a moment. Zhen's desire to protect his tree isn't for money or because he wants to hurt anyone, or for the sake of any superstition. He just wants to honor his father's dying wish. Pops, you have kids too, right?
Yeah. When you put it like that.
Pops, if you can agree to it, I'll have a word with Granny Zhuoshin and see about getting you some money from the relief fund as compensation for having your sunlight blocked. As for the tree...
That sounds good to me. Whatever you think, Captain Beto. The tree can stay. Some compensation would make me feel much better about the whole thing.
Thank you, Captain Beidou. And thank you for understanding Pop's Xing. I'll make sure to trim it back when I get home to let some more light through. It'll be such a relief not to have to worry about this anymore. On a separate note, I remember the Crux last visited the village not very long ago. Is there some special reason why you're back in person so soon?
Nothing all that special, just personal reasons. I'm looking for some treasure.
Huh? Treasure? Wait a second. That reminds me, I saw Chongping and Defu arguing in the fields earlier. It sounded like they were both trying to lay claim to some treasure. I don't know if it's related to the one you're looking for, but anyway, they're probably still there now.
Really? Okay, well, you and Pop Xing can go about your business now. I'll go see what the situation is.
Okay, ich suche nach Changping und Defu. Okay. So. Und Filmora. Was ist denn hier los?
Huh? Beidou, you're just in time. Defu's being completely unreasonable.
What happened?
I'm not being unreasonable, Captain. I got Chongping to help me plow my land because it's the busy season. And then, what do you know? He plows up a treasure chest. Way I see it, it's my land, so the treasure belongs to me, right? I think it's a pretty clear-cut case.
You say that, Defu, but what you're forgetting is that I came to help you plow your fields out of the goodness of my heart, and you haven't paid me a single mora. It was also my plowing that turned up this chest. However you cut it, surely I'm entitled to at least some of the treasure.
The domestic drama just keeps coming today. What are your thoughts? Okay, I think I'm up to speed here. If you two really want to take this further, I can get a legal expert from Liyue Harbor to adjudicate. As for the costs, I'll cover them. What do you think? Neither of you seems thrilled about this course of action. Okay, so plan B. I'll be straight with you. The reason I came here today was to look for some treasure. Chances are it's hiding right there in the chest you're both fighting over. So, how about you two stop fighting over it and do me a favor by handing it to me? Of course, I'll be indebted to both of you. If either of you ever needs anything in the future, the Crux will not hesitate to lend you our support.
Captain, you're far too kind, really. Indebted? That won't be necessary. If you want this chest, you go ahead and take it.
Yep, totally agree. If only I'd known you were looking for this chest. You should have said something. I would have delivered it to you personally to save you the trip.
It seems like it's been quite a busy day for you, helping us settle all our little quarrels. Come on, let's go to the village. I'll rally the masses. We'll get some good food and good drink and have a good old get-together.
Don't worry about the chest. I'll carry it over.
Nehmen am Dorfbankett teil. Okay. Ich hatte kurz gedacht bei diesem Rechtsexperten, dass wir uns Yang Fei bei würden nehmen, aber leider doch nicht. Schade. Es wäre schön gewesen, wenn die etwas mehr halt Dings Aufmerksamkeit würde bekommen. Bei Yang Fei hat man, glaube ich, nur einmal gesehen halt. Und ja. Ich weiß mal nicht, ob das. War das doch, das müsste eine Story-Quest gewesen sein, wo wir mit Madame Ping halt das erstmal in Kontakt gekommen sind halt. Oh, wenn wir gerade von Madame Ping geredet. Ah, das ist nicht schon mal Madame Ping, sieht nur wenig aus.
What a fine day today has been. Beidou has solved an awful lot of problems in our village.
She sure has. Without Captain Beidou, that compensation payment would have bankrupted me. Yeah, and if it weren't for Captain Beidou, I'd still be arguing with Pop's Xing.
Here, here. We have plenty to thank Captain Beidou for, I'm sure. I propose a toast in her honor.
To Captain Beidou. Cheers!
I couldn't ask for more than the chance to get everyone together and drink to our heart's content. Cheers!
Nach der ausgelassenen Feier.
That really hit the spot. Want to get some air? The view in this place is pretty good. We can take a look through the contents of that chest while we're at it. Chongping placed it by the water wheel. Are you kidding? Beidou can handle her liquor. Come on, let's go.
Schatz, geh zum Wasserrand, wo die Truhe steht. Oh, Beidou. Uiuiui, leckt. So.
So, I've been thinking. Everyone seems to trust me enough to let me have the final word on their disputes. But don't you think some of my solutions can be a little stupid? You can laugh, I don't mind. Take Changping and Dufu's wrangling over that chest, for instance. I had no clue who it should belong to, so I just came up with this stupid idea of taking it for myself. At least that way, neither of them would feel like it was unfair. But, I mean, I'm no Ningguang. I can't make a perfect deal every time. And I'm no Yanfei either. Not all my judgment calls are going to be 100% fair and square. I am Beidou, and my strength is in trading favors. You think I should be more selective? Some people think their favors are so valuable that they need to plan out how and when to use them to maximize the return on their investment. They view the favor as a bargaining chip. Others see doing favors as a burden, not worth anything in monetary terms and prone to getting you locked in a cycle of constantly returning the favor back and forth. But the way I see it, favors are what keep people connected to one another. Over thousands of years, the people of Liyue have created bonds between each other by doing someone a favor here and asking for a favor there. This means that no individual is truly on their own out there. When someone falls down, there's an invisible net made of human connections, waiting to catch them and get them back on their feet. Over the years, I've come to owe favors to a great many people, and many other people have come to owe me one. These are the countless bonds between us, like so many fish in the sea. And they're the reason that the Crux and I have survived the countless hardships we faced. I believe that if there ever comes a day when the world is overrun by monsters, Liyue's legal system collapses and the land is thrust back into an age of war, it's these bonds that will see us all through the dark days ahead, until we come out on the other side. I'm not saying that. But either way, we have a pretty firm bond between us already, don't you think? Was this wind brewed in a winery? It's making me lightheaded. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something we were literally just talking about. Oh, yeah, the chest! Oh, I got so immersed in our conversation that I forgot all about the main event. Come on. Let's open it up and see what's inside.
Wie die Truhe öffnet, steckt die Geruch von Vollnase. Da war ein plötzlich ein abgestandener Weißkohl.
Oh, that's it? A whole lot of nothing? It's not exactly what I was looking for. But you know what? I don't care. The fun part was going on a treasure hunt with you. Come on, let's get back to the party. Tonight, we go big before we go home.
Alter, wie nice. Liebe hält uns alles an zwischen uns. Das ist ein geiles Bild schon. Also erstes schon so ein geiles Bild direkt, das ist nice. Okay, damit hätten wir den ersten schon abgeschlossen. Okay, das hat sich doch nicht so lange gezogen. Ich weiß nicht warum, aber irgendwie hat sich das lang angefühlt. Ich weiß nicht warum, aber okay, ging doch eigentlich relativ schnell, glaube ich, oder? Okay, wir haben einfach nur einen langen Weg einfach bekommen. Das war es also. So, Unterhaltung unter 4 Augen. Okay, Spiel fortsetzen. Warte mal, ist das nicht auf dem Schiff? Oh nein. So, da wären wir mal da für die zweite Variante halt, also sozusagen für den zweiten Weg jetzt halt, wo wir GUI-Planes dann halt angeben. Wie ihr seht, ist es ein bisschen her seit jetzt seit dem letzten Schnitt. Man sieht ja fast schon mal Beidou jetzt einfach und alles so, aber ja, egal. Ich würde mal sagen, wir reden mit Beidou, ne, und dann ja.
Nothing like that. I just mean, as for its exact,
Okay.
I'd say I've explored Liyue pretty extensively, but still, this one man. So I thought of you. Nobody can beat you when it comes to treasure hunting on land, right? Is
No.
that right? Well then, here's the maps.
Okay, das ist die Karte, das haben wir schon letztes Mal gesehen, also beim ersten Anlauf so. Es ist sehr krackig, aber ich denke, es gehört in die Liyue-Ebene, so.
Oily plains. never would have gotten that. How can you tell? Oh. Okay then. So you do live up to the hype. I can't believe you noticed that. You sure have an eye for detail. Let's head over there and take a look. I'll need you to help me zero in on the specific location once we're there.
Okay, damit hätten wir Legendenauftrag. Jetzt haben wir wahrscheinlich hier einen neuen Weg freigeschaltet, ne? Okay, ich will aber jetzt, normalerweise würde ich jetzt den Weg hier weitermachen. Machen wir auch gleich. Ich werde nur kurz hier weitermachen. Ich hoffe dann, das andere bleibt, das wäre nice. Für das wir halt nicht noch einmal auf das Schiff zurückkommen, weil das ist ein bisschen nervig, ne? Ist das jetzt noch gespeichert da? Ja, das heißt, wir können da wieder zurück, okay. Ich will halt nur jetzt noch hier den Weg freischalten, damit ich nicht jedes Mal hier zurück muss laufen, weil es ist so anstrengend. So. Besonderer Gast. Hier, okay.
Well, would you look who's here? Looks like it's going to be a day to remember. Guys, look who the sea washed up.
Okay. So.
Captain's got quite the eye for people.
So.
She was sure that your trip to Inazuma would stir up.
Look at you being so modest.
I've heard that they tell stories about you and Ma.
Oh, no.
Hey.
I was worried you'd be too busy to
So,
show
okay,
up.
das hatten wir schon.
Yeah, come on.
She's on board right.
So, no.
So it goes without
No doubt about
Ja.
again. So should a hero well, if that were the
Right.
remember, isn't that why
Okay.
everyone
Yes?
I guess I almost forgot.
just
So,
be
Okay.
I'm glad you came. Welcome back aboard. Hey, don't mention it. As a host, it would be pretty embarrassing to continue letting my guests be put on the spot like that. I can't go getting too caught up as the head of the fleet, but then again, the crew isn't their excitement today.
So, das müsste der Weg sein, wo halt man sich entscheidet, wenn man diesen Karten nachgeht, also dieser Karten nachgeht, oder halt jetzt die anderen 3 Wege anscheinend. So.
Is that so? Well, it just so happens that we're doing some recruitment and training for new crew members while we're back. It'll be a first-rate chance to learn the life of a sailor. Since you're interested, why don't you come along and experience a sailor's life firsthand? I'm curious to see if you'll take the sea by storm in the same way you have on land. Good. Come with me. I've got something interesting for you to see.
Okay, und jetzt erlebe die Matrosenausbildung. Okay, das müssen wir nochmal auf dem Schiff machen. Ich mache einfach jetzt alles, was wir im Schiff können machen.
Chief Mate Juza's breaking in the newcomers, but I think we can spare you the tedium of that. After this, the new crew members will be arranged into 2 teams for more specialized training, according to their own aptitudes and the needs of the fleet. One team will learn comprehensive survival skills, including maritime emergency rescue, marine meteorology, psychological counseling, and so on.
Okay.
They will serve as the support team for the fleet, ensuring safe navigation. That's why we call them the Shield of the Crux. The vision of the Crux. Oh, we don't have that many visions, kid. As one might expect, we call the other team the Spear of the Crux, because they'll be learning about naval warfare. They'll make up the armed portion of our crew. Also, they're responsible for handling the fleet's cargo deals. So, what do you think? Which team is for you?
Okay, das hier ist definitiv eine Entscheidung. Nehmen wir auf mal die Schilde.
As I expected, you have a will to protect others. There are 2 main subjects that the Shield of the Crux focuses on: survival knowledge and entertainment. As I was saying earlier, survival knowledge includes prevention of injuries and diseases at sea, navigation and cartography, basic meteorology, etc. You can go learn about these skills from Yinxing, Huixing, and Liushi. They're all seasoned hands in their respective fields. Each sailor has their own strengths and weaknesses. I'm no rookie, of course, but you shouldn't underestimate the knowledge of the crew. If there's anything I'm most proud of in the fleet, it's my people. Go and get to work. I'll have some questions to test you later. I look forward to seeing how you do.
Okay, das heißt, wir müssen jetzt die anderen befragen und dann... Ja, okay. Lern ein oder zwei Dinge von Singing das Schiffsärztin. Okay, das müssen wir uns aufhalten. Alter, hier ist ja richtig viel am Schiff zu machen. Ich will das mal aus dem Weg bekommen.
Hello, traveler.
So.
I'm Yinxing, the Crux's surgeon at sea. Whenever a sailor has a health problem, they come to me. I deal with it all, from seasickness and common colds to amputations and everything in between. Oh, I presume the captain arranged this, correct? All right then, let's begin. First of all, let me ask you this. What do you think is the biggest danger that all new crew members face? That can certainly be a problem at sea, but it's not the biggest danger. The most dangerous thing for a newcomer is to underestimate the dangers of life at sea. Oh, I have seen many new crew members who see themselves as young and fighting fit and have no regard for safety. They think that since they are tough enough to look after themselves on land, they'll be fine at sea as well. Those are the ones that always end up in the sick bay. Everyone should know that being a sailor, especially on a long voyage, is a brutal job in an unforgiving environment. We have to face malnutrition when we're short on supplies, all kinds of injuries and diseases that the harsh ocean weather can bring, and even the psychological problems that can arise due to isolation and the lack of entertainment. To make things worse, the lack of medication and treatment options at sea can result in even minor health problems becoming serious, or even fatal. Oh, you probably thought I was joking, right? Well, that's not surprising. Most newcomers think the same way. But hopefully you now realize that with a little extra precaution, a lot of these things can be avoided. Well, I think that's enough for you to think over for now. Is there anything else you would like to know? Captain Beidou? Well, out of everyone I've met, she probably values people's lives and safety the most. Although I'm just a doctor, Beidou has given me the full authority to send any newcomers who I don't see as fit for service off the ship, until they are ready to come back with the right attitude. Every time we're stocking up before a voyage, medicine takes top priority. I'm even allowed to choose the suppliers, regardless of the price. We have adequate budget for medical expenses. Do you know what Morgrubber, our bookkeeper, calls this? A significant financial risk. But Beidou knows the importance of having a healthy crew. That's why she has authorized me regardless. She places her full trust in me and believes that I can solve these problems. Of course, I have proven her right. So, to answer your question, that's how she thinks. Is there anything else you would like to know? Are you concerned about them? No wonder Captain Beidou thinks you're different. There must be more to you than just your strength. If you can convince Morgrubber to show you the books, you'll see there is a regular fixed cost, titled Convalescence Payments and Incapacity Support for Injured Crew Members. Regardless of the fleet's income, those who have fought alongside us will certainly receive their compensation every year. Some of those that have returned to land have started small businesses, while others have chosen to go out traveling the world. The money is intended to allow them to live their lives as freely as possible. I'm sure being based on land helps a lot with that too. Still, we can't pretend like it solves everything. They call them life-changing injuries for a reason, you know. But if nothing else, it's good to know that while Captain Beidou is in charge of the Crux, no one will get forgotten. Is there anything else you would like to know?
Ne, ich glaube, das ist alles.
My pleasure. Okay, let's leave it there then. Be sure to take good care of your health.
Okay, lerne ein oder zwei Dinge von Ryzen, der Steuerfrau. Okay. Wir haben auf jeden Fall ein paar Sachen jetzt. So, hello.
Sorry about earlier, Traveler. We were so caught up on getting you to join the fleet that we didn't notice we were going a little overboard. Good thing the captain stepped in. Oh! Well, in that case, you have come to the right person. I'm not just blowing smoke. You're looking at the most talented navigator in Liyue Harbor. I'll start by introducing some chart reading essentials for new sailors. Feel free to interrupt if you have any questions. Let's start with what to look for when you get a set of complicated charts. First, you should always look at any indicated shorelines, islands or reefs, water depths, hydrological conditions, and other hazards. With these features in mind, you can answer the basic question of, can I chart a safe course through this area? Visually, nautical charts are a little unique. Unlike land maps, most charts do not have a fixed scale, which means that it can be hard to precisely determine the exact distance between 2 points. The most advanced nautical charts come with a supplementary chart, which has different colored lines marked on it to indicate distances. It's worth mentioning that under my direction, the Crux is using these advanced kinds of charts. Some cartographers mark out other points of interest on their charts, usually with their own special symbols. If they don't leave any accompanying notes, they can be very difficult to interpret. Not only those, we have tattered and torn charts that we've picked up from all over the place. To be honest, it can be quite a challenge, even for me. Some of these charts are really old and have symbols that I've never seen before. But if we don't decipher them, we will certainly miss many secrets of the sea. Fortunately, we have the captain with us. She managed to find some ancient books on semiotics that I can use to study the charts further. I don't think anyone other than our captain could manage to get these kinds of resources. Old charts and ancient books on semiotics are not the kinds of things that are sold in your average marketplace. Oops, I've gotten off topic. Well, that just about covers the basics of chart reading. Is there anything else you would like to know, Traveler? Drafting charts? That's certainly a more advanced topic. To be honest, I've only attained a smattering of knowledge in that area. The charts we are using now are just revised versions of the ones left by the previous navigator. So my mapping experiences have been primarily limited to updating our charts to reflect changes in the sea. I think you can ask Captain Beto more about cartography. One time, the fleet sailed into an uncharted area by mistake. It wasn't long before we turned the fleet around and returned the way we came out for fear of potential hazards. But Captain Beto still managed to draft a simple chart of the area we sailed through for if and when we explore the area again. Incredible, isn't it? I was amazed to see that the captain could even do cartography. Because I have the talent, and she doesn't want to let it go to waste. She treats the whole crew that way. I initially had the same question myself. After all, in many fleets, the captain also works as a navigator. I couldn't understand her reasoning at the time, so I asked her. She just laughed and told me to wise up, saying that even Rex Lapis never fights alone. She wants everyone on board to master their role, so that the Crux is not floating on her alone. That way, if the day ever comes when she's no longer with the fleet, we will still be able to sail onward without her. Captain Beto may seem aloof and even act careless sometimes, but the truth is that she's very considerate of everyone on board. Is there anything else you would like to know, Traveler? My pleasure. A friend of Captain Beto is a friend of mine.
Okay, lerne ein oder zwei Dinge von ZOWIE. Ich hoffe, ich habe das richtig ausgesprochen, wahrscheinlich gar nicht. Okay, ganz da oben, okay. Oh Gott, ey, ich sehe es jetzt schon danach, wenn Beto uns auffragt, ich werde so verkacken. Aber ich glaube, das müsste letztes Mal sein, weil es sind ja 3 Themen gewesen, also es müsste normalerweise jetzt der letzte sein. Ah, ganz chillig, ey. So. So, und ab und Servus.
Hello, traveler. Are you here to learn about marine meteorology? In my line of work, I've got to have a pair of sharp eyes. I saw the captain showing you around the training grounds, and then you went to see Yingxing and Huixing. So I figured that she probably wants you to get to know the life of a crew member. Okay, let's get started. First, I'll introduce you to the basics of meteorology. Marine meteorology basically means keeping tabs on the weather as well as other ocean phenomena, so things like sea fog, storm surges, water spouts, and so on. These are all potential threats to safe navigation. Luckily, whatever weather might be coming up, there's always some kind of sign that gives it away in advance. Take water spouts, for example. They're caused by high-speed rotating winds on the surface of the ocean. They can engulf large ships and do immense damage. But if you know that water spouts can only form in an environment with high temperature, high humidity, and large clouds, then you can be well prepared. You will be even more alert if you also know that the presence of winds blowing in opposite directions, with a significant difference in speed, is a direct precursor to the formation of waterspouts. And most importantly, if you spot a small white vortex emerging from the clouds, you should immediately notify the crew to steer clear of what's ahead. So there you go. Those are the warning signs of waterspouts. I am proud to say that over the years, I haven't let a single one sneak up on my watch. I've got to confess, I learned almost everything I know from the captain. All the stuff about meteorology that I just told you about, she's the real expert. Do you know the small fishing village next to Wangshu Inn? I heard that when Captain Beidou was a kid, she worked there fishing. Later, she made her way to the harbor where she struggled to make a living. Growing up in an environment like that, it's no wonder she knows everything about the sea. When I first came on board, I lived every day wallowing in doubt, wondering if my former career as a sailor was all just a waste. But as I gradually learned some new things and became more experienced, I finally realized what makes the Crux so great. After all, not every fleet has the uncrowned Lord of the Ocean as their leader. I feel lucky just to have joined. Find me anytime if you want to know more.
Okay. Aber das wird jetzt witzig. Ich werde wahrscheinlich schön verkacken, ey. Oh Gott. Hey, Beidou, ich habe Informationen gesammelt. Ich werde definitiv jetzt alles richtig aufzählen. Oh Gott.
So you've already finished talking to the crew, huh? I thought it would take you a while longer. So, what did you think? Now you know that the Shield of the Crux is not such an easy job. Let's get started.
Oh Gott.
First of all, life on the sea isn't always plain sailing. Injuries and illnesses happen all the time. What is the single biggest danger facing crew members?
Okay. Erkältung, Seekrankheit, aber die Gefahr zu unterschätzen, so.
Is that your final answer? All right, on to the second question.
Okay.
As you've just learned, the fleet plots its route using nautical charts. The charts used by the Crux have additional charts attached. The supplementary chart has lots of lines in various colors for added reference. What is the purpose of these lines? Okay, interesting. Now, last question. On longer voyages, we have to be especially careful to avoid certain weather hazards that pose a threat to the integrity of the ship and the lives of the crew. For example, waterspouts. So my question is, how can we reliably predict waterspouts so we can avoid them? Okay, those are all my questions. Do you want to know how you did?
Yep.
I gotta say, each time I think I've wrapped my head around how great you are, you surprise me with
Haben wir alle
something
richtig
new.
gemacht?
You got them all
Yes!
correct. They weren't the most difficult questions, but they weren't ones you could bluff your way through either. You've clearly been paying attention to my crew. Okay then, now it's time to apply that endless talent of yours to learning some new recreational activities. Don't worry, all our recreational activities are respectable and, above board. You need to realize that being out at sea might be fun for the first few days while everything's new, but before too long, Looking at the same old sea every day and being so isolated from everything can really cause people to struggle mentally. That is why regular recreational activities are an absolute necessity. We offer a lot of fun courses for our newcomer training, including fishing, photography, chess. Oh, and thanks to Kazuha, these days we also offer poetry and music appreciation, as well as communal wind listening. Each newcomer has to participate in at least one, so that they've got some way of keeping themselves occupied at sea further down the line. Of course, if you'd prefer wrestling sea monsters with your bare hands, that can be arranged. Well, for today at least, let's stick to the training schedule drawn up by Juza. If I remember correctly, it should be photography today. Come on, I'll show you.
Okay, Fotografie-Ding. Alter, das ist ja alles an Bord hier.
Listen up, everyone can go back and call it a day. The photography session has been postponed.
What's going on here, Juza?
Oh, Captain, there you are. Well, Captain, the photography teacher just sent word saying that she's fallen ill and doesn't want to risk coming in case she keels over in class.
I see. That's quite unfortunate. Oh? Quite the multi-talented one, aren't you? In that case, why don't you help us out and lead the class today?
Yeah, unfortunately, the original teacher canceled at short notice, so there's no time to schedule anything else instead. It would be great if the Traveler could step in as the teacher for the day.
It's up to you, Traveler. Great, it's settled then. Juza, let's muster everyone over here to meet the new teacher.
Yes, Captain.
User versammelt die Vorgänger.
Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. That should be everyone. Take it away, Traveler. Oh yeah? What's that? Fair enough. It seems like you already have someone in mind. So, who will it be? Me? Well, we could do that, or... Guyunstone Forest looks extraordinary today. It'd be a pity to not capture the scenery for posterity. So how about we snap Guyunstone Forest for today's class? Then there'd be no need for a model.
Come on, Captain. We talked about this. The photography class is supposed to be portrait photography. Have you forgotten? Scenery looks nice at first, but it gets boring after a while. I bet it'd keep the crew more entertained if we got them learning portrait photography so they could record moments in each other's daily lives. Those were your exact words, Captain.
Were they now? Strange. I don't seem to remember anything about that. Well, then in that case, how about Huiting? I bet she's perfect for the camera. Or Fuzhong. Or Mora Grubber. Even little Yue.
Seriously, Captain? Little Yue? You're just trying to wriggle your way out of this. This isn't like you. You are the captain after all. Of all of us, you're the best suited to being a model.
I agree. You were the one who invited the Traveler to be the teacher, so you should cooperate, Captain. Besides, Captain, you've never had your photo taken. It's high time you got one. You know, a heroic and striking kind of picture. We can even use it to promote the fleet during recruitment.
Real funny, guys. Well, if you say so. I'm not one to spoil the fun. So, what do I do now, Traveler? Like this? You're kidding, right? I've never had my photo taken before, but something this simple shouldn't be a challenge for me. It must be the lighting or something. You've got it wrong. And I never said that. You mean go somewhere else, then bring the final photo back as teaching material?
Sounds good to me. That's a good idea, isn't it, guys?
The lighting may still be a problem. But I'm open to persuasion. If you have a suitable place in mind, I can consider it. Just to be clear, I won't necessarily agree. It depends on the place you have in mind. fishing village near Wangshu Inn? That place is deserted now, isn't it? How do you even know that place anyway? It's tiny. I don't think I've ever seen it on a single map. Treasure? There? I guess I missed out on that one. It just so happens that that little village is where I grew up. Now that you've mentioned it, it's given me the urge to go back and take a look around. How about we take this opportunity to pay my old home a visit?
Okay, das heißt, wir haben jetzt einen neuen Weg freigeschaltet, der nicht mehr an Bord ist. Halleluja. So, wie weit haben wir uns... Alter, wir haben uns nach hier vorne gearbeitet. Okay. So, ich habe schon gesehen, wenn man hier verkackt, dann geht der Weg nach unten und dann trifft man auf den Weg hier. Das heißt, wir werden hier auf die Matrosenausbildung wieder zurückgehen. Ja, so. So,
team for the fleet, ensuring the pen of the Crux. Oh, that's a wild idea. Unfortunately, this ain't the Wanwen Bookhouse, kid. As one might expect, we call the other team.
So, okay, das hatten wir schon. So, Sperre der Crux mal.
You truly are an adventurer at heart. Let's start with the fundamentals for any armed crew member. Basic boat handling. Follow me.
Okay. So. Geh zu dem kleinen Stift, das Bede vorbereitet hat.
These are some older skirmish boats that we keep on the Alcor as backup. Although they've been made redundant by newer models now, they're still fully kitted out. They're perfect for when we need to do simulated battles as part of crew training. Disappointed? So this isn't quite on the scale that you had in mind, huh? To be honest, the Alcor going into battle is the last thing I'd ever want to see. In fact, out of all the confrontations we've ever had, almost all were resolved by negotiation. Only when negotiations fail do we consider deploying our armed fighters and skirmish boats, and they alone are enough to handle most situations. The only reason the Alcor would ever need to open fire would be if it were a fight to the death. The Alcor serves only two purposes: to deter or to destroy. We are an armed fleet with a strong sense of justice, not war-hungry lunatics. We're very careful about determining when to use force and exactly what level of force to use. All of this to say that mastering a small attack craft is quite enough for new crew members. Do you have any experience piloting small armed vessels? You mean you can do the jobs of a helmsman and a gunner simultaneously? Wow, that's quite an achievement. Even in the Crux, there are few who can do that. Seems like you're a natural. In that case, I'll skip the basics on how to operate your craft. The goal of this exercise is simple. Steer your skirmish boat along the prescribed route and return here within the time limit. You can start when you're ready. I'll be waiting here so I can observe your skills.
Okay, das heißt, wir müssen einfach diese Zeit-Challenge abschließen. Das wird normalerweise machbar. So, Und let's go. Von denen haben wir wieso relativ viel auf Inazuma, wenn man 100% will. Also wird das hier, glaube ich, nicht so eine große Herausforderung normalerweise. So, hopp. So. Hopp. Münze. Und hopp. Fuck, verfehlt. Servus. Et voilà.
Nicely done. That was a joy to watch. Perfect timing on the turns, you kept your craft stable on the straightaway. It was like watching a well-rehearsed show. All right. It's high time I introduced you to some of the more serious business that the Crux takes on. Come with me. We're going to Liyue Harbor.
Okay, triff dich mit Beidou in Liyue. Okay. Das heißt, das hätten wir auch jetzt hier alles. Ja, okay, das hier geht. Denkst es, okay, der Weg hat sich schon automatisch hingemacht, das ist gut. Okay, das heißt, wir haben jetzt alles, Dings freigeschaltet von, vom Boot, also was an Bord ist. Das heißt, jetzt müssen wir nur noch diese Wege abschließen halt. Und wenn ich richtig liege, müsste hier noch ein zweiter Weg aufgehen halt. Oder hier vielleicht doch, keine Ahnung. Aber auf jeden Fall bei einer dieser 3 Wegen wird noch ein zweiter aufgehen. Und dann bekommen wir den letzten Ausgang. Ich würde mal sagen, wir gehen in das namenlose Fischerdorf, ne? Und ja, let's go.